Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple. That's your no shit gaming news video. 3 news stories in one video with 0 faff. Ubisoft made headlines last year as it faced several accusations ranging from unprofessional conduct to outright abuse from many of its key figures. In the original script I actually wrote recently, but then I checked and it was literally last summer. Time makes no sense to me anymore. Worse still, the company was accused of covering it all up within the HR department and that there was a conflict of interest. Ubisoft actually admitted to many of these accusations and promised to make significant changes, yet according to some, that has not been the case. A Ubisoft rep claimed the company had done a lot to address the situation. Over a period of several months, Ubisoft has implemented major changes across its organization, internal processes, and procedures in order to guarantee a safe, inclusive, and respectful work environment for all team members. These concrete actions demonstrate the profound changes that have taken place at every level of the company. Additional initiatives are underway and are being rolled out over the coming months. We are committed to strengthening our culture and values in the long term to help ensure every team member at Ubisoft is heard, respected, and valued in the workplace. Several figures who face accusations are actually still within the company. The director of HR, Cecil Cornet, which is where many of the problems seem to stem from, stepped away from the role last July but has apparently only just left the company. To make matters more laughable, Cornet's replacement is Annika Grant, who takes the title Chief People Officer. Grant formerly worked with Uber as its Senior Director of HR, which incidentally went through its own workplace sexual harassment lawsuit, resulting in a $4.4 million settlement. Replacing one HR director who is involved with sexual harassment with another who was involved in the exact same thing sure sounds like smart business to me. Another Uber alum was also hired in the form of Rashi Seeker as VP of Global Diversity and Inclusion. This was among several appointments of new executive figures after the removal of Chief Creative Officer Serge Haskaway and Ubisoft Canadian Studios head Yanis Mallet. However, according to an elected representative from Ubisoft Social and Economic Committee, these appointments aren't anything worthwhile because many of the accused in HR are still there. They said, don't expect anything to come out of these appointments. In addition to the accusations of a sexual nature, there were also plenty of just plain bullying and abuse levied at specific individuals, some of which still remain at the company. Florent Castelnerac, studio head of Nadio in Paris, which is best known for Trackmania, is one such individual, and a workers' union in France literally called for his dismissal. Director at Singapore Hughes Ricoeur left his role but remains employed at the company elsewhere. Ricoeur was accused of making inappropriate comments about female staff and encouraging them to kiss him at work events, and if they questioned it, he would use his influence in the company to make their work life harder. Christophe Duren was promoted to studio head of Ubisoft Montreal and is coincidentally the cousin of CEO Yves Guillemot, but apparently nothing has changed since his appointment in July last year. Some changes were made, albeit few, including amendments to the Code of Conduct and training days for accountability, but some at the company believe Ubisoft management is trying to hide from the problem. We believe a desire from management to leave the crisis from summer 2020 behind, as it represents a risk for the group's durability, but training must be renewed regularly and ordered to new staff. For now, this request has not been addressed. Anytime any of these complaints were filed with HR, there was little done to actually address them or seek the truth, which is the main problem. Whenever stories of accusations like this come up, there is always going to be a degree of skepticism over how much proof there really is, and that is understandable to an extent. It shouldn't just be assumed to be a fact or false, and it must be investigated thoroughly, but this is clearly where HR failed, though to me, the fact that the accusation exists in the first place proves that at least something is going wrong somewhere. Whether 100% of it is true or not isn't really relevant though, as clearly there is something very wrong with Ubisoft's leadership teams. Even if a tiny percentage of all of it is true, that's still a serious problem that needs to be addressed, and based on this story, that just isn't happening. I don't know exactly what's going on over there, but it definitely doesn't look good from where I'm sitting. If an allegation is made against someone within the company, it is literally HR's job to look into it and ascertain what happened and what can be done to fix it if it's true. According to all this, that never happened and still hasn't happened in the years since it all came out. There's loads more to read on this topic, and there's a bunch of links below if you want to do that, but I can sum it all up for you. F Ubisoft. And next up, Die Hard is possibly the greatest action movie of all time. For me personally, it's a bit of a toss-up between that and The Matrix, and I flip-flop between the two. Despite coming out in 1988 and changing the shape of cinema, Bruce Willis's John McClane is still getting love today, even if his subsequent adventures grew progressively more trash. Following in the footsteps of games like Fortnite, Mortal Kombat 11, and Dead by Daylight, Call of Duty Warzone is adding iconic characters from third-party IPs. Mr. McClane is among them, along with fellow iconic John Rambo. Both of these action heroes join Warzone as operators as part of the mid-season 3 refresh. The trailer for the pair is actually amazing. It's so cheesy, over the top, and full of one-liners like all 80s action movies, and I am 100% here for it. John and John will be available in Warzone, Cold War, and CoD Mobile from 9 PM Pacific time tonight. In addition to McClane himself, the Nakatomi Plaza building is as much of a character as he is in Die Hard, and that will also be coming to the game. This will appear in Warzone in downtown for a limited time with 5 floors of space to fight through. It's unclear exactly how much these boys will cost, but both come with a couple of extra bits too. Both operators come with finishing moves, a legendary calling card and emblem, and an epic watch and weapon charm, as well as specific weapons based on their films. Rambo's pack gets you legendary blueprints for an assault rifle, SMG, and knife, while McClane's pack gets you legendary blueprints for a tactical rifle, SMG, and assault rifle. Supposedly, neither Bruce Willis or Sylvester Stallone have recorded new dialogue, so everything you'll hear will be extracted from the movies. I have zero interest in playing Call of Duty, but I actually really like seeing cross-promotion like this. Fortnite has done really well off the back of superhero events for Marvel and DC, Star Wars stuff, and more recently gaming icons like Master Chief and Kratos. Mortal Kombat 11 has added a bunch of 80s superstars as DLC like Terminator and Robocop, which is a mashup I've been hoping would return for years. Dead by Daylight added all the slasher killers you needed like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Leatherface. This season update also brings in a few other bits and pieces as well, but that's not half as interesting as this to me. They'll probably cost a fair bit to unlock, but Warzone is a free game, so that really doesn't bother me, and multiplayer progress is shared between Warzone, Cold War, and Modern Warfare. I don't say this often about Call of Duty, but this actually looks really cool, and I'd love to see more. You have so many movies to choose from. What's next? Commando, Predator, Running Man? Basically anything with Arnie in it is good to go. I'm being uncharacteristically nice about Call of Duty, so we better move on before I lose my mind even more. And finally, Miles Morales has returned to the top end of the UK physical game sales charts at number 3 after a boost in PS5 stock. Unsurprisingly though, the top spot is taken by the new release of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which has been getting a lot of praise in reviews as it sits between 90 and 85 on Metacritic across PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Taking second is Resident Evil Village, which again shouldn't come as a shock after it released last week to good reviews too. After that in fourth, we've got FIFA 21, which is a mainstay all year round, though regulars like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed have fallen by the wayside this week. Following that in fifth is Subnautica Below Zero, the frosty sequel to 2018's underwater sandbox game Subnautica. The rest of the top 10 is completely covered by Nintendo, with Animal Crossing, Minecraft on Switch, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D World, and Pokemon Snap. Nintendo usually dominates the physical release space, but seeing 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th all in a row going to them never fails to impress me. Elsewhere, the recent release of Returnal has seen quite a rapid fall off after its debut at number 2 a couple weeks ago, then 15th last week, and then just 26th this week. The resurgence of PS5 stock bolstered Miles Morales, but evidently failed to give Returnal the kick it needed. And that's it for today. If you like this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell to stay notified about all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry Cooper. That's all for today. Bye for now.